Making changes is not to fix yourself or change something that you don't like. It's about removing the obstacles and fulfilling your dreams. That's something that I'm talking about today. It's something that I have seen make a huge difference in my life, and I'll be sharing my story in a bit. But at the end of the day, the tendency that we have to blame ourselves when things, when we can't create new habits or incorporate them or even sustain them, it simply is not working, and we need a more effective way of creating new habits and making sustainable changes. And that's what I'm about to share with you, 5 steps that you can take today to create new, healthier habits. And if you like what I have to say, make sure that you sign up for the free challenge that I have coming up. It's a 7-day positive changes challenge, which starts on Monday, the 25th of January. And it's about taking one step, which is actionable, which is simple, to start creating positive changes in your life, right? And it's just a free challenge. So make sure that you use up the link below and sign up for it. So for today's session, today is about making sustainable changes, right? It's about talking about our goals. It might be personal goals, it might be professional goals. It doesn't matter what kind of goals you have, but of course you would be aware that you need to have healthy habits in order to achieve those goals, right? So goals are the process or the way that you achieve your goals, and you can fulfill your dreams. Because what happens if you don't, right? What happens if you don't design your life like this? You live a life by default, right? You live a life based on other people's priorities. You live a life where you might end up regretting later on at some point in time that I wish I had tried. I wish I had, given life to my dreams, or at least tried, right? Even if it didn't work out in the end. Because the number one regret that many people have in this world, and this is an excellent book recommendation that I have if you haven't read this already. It's called The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying, and is written by a nurse, Bronnie Ware, who's worked with terminally ill patients for a long time in a hospice setting. And the number one regret that um, most of these people have at the end of their lives is that I wish I had lived a life that was true to myself, not based on other people's priorities or other people's opinions, right? So that's what I hope for you, and that's the reason I'm doing this session on this particular topic, because this is something that I have seen. For those of you who know me, or maybe you don't, I am a functional medicine certified health coach, and I got into this coaching practice because of my daughter's health issues, severe health conditions, which started in 2012-13, and we went through a very very bad period of time. And I realized at that time that if I did not change certain habits, her lifestyle, her diet, our diet as a family, our certain things that we were doing, products that we were using, there were many changes that we had to make in order to design an environment where she could heal, right? And that's sort of what got the ball rolling. And then one thing led to another, and with the help of functional medicine, with the help of treating and addressing the root cause of her chronic health issue, this is where I am. She healed from that. Of course, it's not something, any kind of, even if you set a goal, or if you set any particular target, that's not the end actually. It's the journey that ultimately matters. It's the quality of your life that matters. So, but I've seen the effects of when I learned how to make sustainable changes, right? Because these changes have to be sustainable, and many of them have to be lifelong. So that's where habits come in, and that's what I want to talk to you today. I want to give you 5 things that you can do today to make sure that you can create new habits, you can sustain these changes in the long run, right? Because this is something that one I've seen in my own life, and I also see my own clients, coaching clients, who have to make certain changes again in order to reach their health and wellness goals. So they struggle with going off gluten, maybe they struggle with going off dairy, they might be struggling to add more exercise in their routine or sleep on time, right? All of these changes are necessary but not easy. So when when I show them the way, when I empower them, when I make them more aware of how actually we should be creating these change, creating new habits to so that they can sustain these changes, that's when the magic happens, right? So the first thing that I would like to do is the first step that I would like you to take is to take an inventory of your current habits. So what is working for you, what is not working, what kind of what is a particular goal that you, maybe it would make sense for you to key in on one particular goal area of your life that you would like to work on, like you would like to see some improvements or work on, because it makes sense to sort of be more focused, like rather than being very very broad, and take an inventory, right? Figure out what is it that is working for you and what is it that's not working for you, and which of your habits, more importantly, are holding you back from reaching your goals, right? And what new healthy habits will allow you to make the changes that you want to see in your life. So that's the first step. The second is to start small. Once you are clear on which area of your life that you want to work on. For example, if you want to start working on incorporating more movement in your life, right? So whether it's in the form of exercising, cardio, whether it's in the form of Zumba, yoga, it might be anything that that appeals to you. But the point is that you start small rather than starting from zero and moving it up to an hour of cardio a day for the sake of your body and for the sake of being able to sustain these changes. And I think this is one reason that many people fail to sustain the changes or fail to create new habits, because habits take time to form, right? You have to give it that time, and it can take anywhere between 3 to 4 months. There is a research which shows that on an average it takes 60 to 66 days. But the point here is that it takes time. So start small and break it down, and take the next step and become very clear as to what is it that you want to do, right? So if you want to start exercising, maybe the next step you can is to break it down into maybe figuring out what kind of exercise you want to do, or maybe you want to get a new pair of shoes. So ask yourself, what is that one small easy step that I will take today which will help me to move towards my goal, right? So take small steps, make it easy for yourself to start. That's a place where many of us get stuck. The third thing, so the first thing was take an inventory of your current habits. Second is to start small, and the third is habit stacking. Now this is a much easier way to create and stick to new habits when you can connect them with an existing habit, an habit that you already have. This is called habit stacking, because as human beings, we all decide what we want to do next based on what we just finished doing. So for example, in my case, I would give you my own example. What I do is I prefer to take out my office clothes and even my workout clothes if I'm working out the next morning the night before. So that is one less thing for me to decide in the morning. And I highly recommend that, especially if you are a busy woman or even a busy mother and the mornings I know are rushed. The lesser number of decisions that you take in the morning, the more energized you will feel. So if you can take some of, decision fatigue is real, my friend. So take some of the decisions beforehand, that will be really useful. So one thing that I do, and which is a tremendous help for me, is to decide what to wear, of course, but the minute I finish brushing, I have stacked this habit after that. So the minute I finish brushing, I take out my clothes. So that's called habit stacking, because brushing is something that has been ingrained in me since childhood, right? And again, you will have habits similarly. You will have some habit that has been ingrained in you, for a very long time, and which are very strong, good habits, right? So if you can stack it or connect a new habit to that, nothing like it. So it could be that if you are looking to start meditating, right? If you want to, or at least sit in silence, or start, breathing exercise, and you're struggling to do that, maybe it makes sense to, connect it to an existing habit which is very strong. So maybe instead of taking out clothes after brushing at night, maybe you can, or in the morning as well, you can say that after I finish brushing, I will do 10 minutes of breathing, right? So that's called habit stacking. So it becomes very easy. The fourth is designing your habits for success. Because what happens is that when you leave things that are important to you to chance, then you are basically disempowering yourself. So rather than doing that, there are so many things which are in your control. So if you can focus your energy on that, right? If you can design your environment. So it's like saying that I want to eat healthy, but I will keep on buying desserts, and I'll keep on buying junk and processed foods, and they will be lying all over my house, right? That doesn't work. So if you want to set up yourself and for success, you need to create an environment that supports you and does not take you away from reaching your goal. So leaving visual cues is very powerful, right? So the same example that I used for myself for habit stacking is what I would like to use here. So to motivate myself and to ensure that and increase the chances of my not chickening out at the last minute, because if I don't feel like, suppose one morning I don't feel like exercising, etc., I take out my workout clothes the night before. So I have killed two birds with one stone. One is that I've used habit stacking because I'm anyways brushing at night, and that's a very strong habit that I have. And I make sure that once I finish brushing, I will take out my workout clothes. The second reason I do that for me is that when I get up in the morning, I keep it in, next to my bed. So the first thing I see in the morning are my workout clothes, right? So the minute I wake up, as soon as I finish brushing, or maybe even before, I just simply change into my workout clothes. Then, the chances of me not working out once I've changed into them is very less. So that's something which is called designing your habits for success. So leaving a visual cue is extremely powerful. So if you're looking at eating healthy, make sure that you are not keeping unhealthy snacks around or unhealthy foods around in the house. Make sure, on the other hand, that you're keeping stuff that you know is going to be helpful for you and useful for you to stick to your goals. So the four steps that I have discussed so far, four things that will help you to create new healthy habits. The first one is take an inventory of your current habits. Second is to start small, make it easy for yourself to start, that is. Third is habit stacking. Fourth is designing your environment. And fifth is celebrating the small wins. Because what happens is, a lot of times we get so focused on our goals, and we get so focused on making those changes and improving things, that we forget to keep a track of the progress that we are making, right? And we forget that we need to be motivated. We need to feel motivated, we need to feel energized to keep going and to sustain what we have just created. It's not about just creating a habit, it's also about sustaining them. It's about sustaining those lifestyle changes which are good for you. So just by focusing on the things that we need to do is not enough. We need to take out time to celebrate the progress that we are making, no matter how small they might seem to you. That's a huge motivator, and it works very well. And that's something that is key to what I do with my clients in my own coaching practice. No matter how bad things might be when they come to me because of their health issues. Some of you might know I have health coaching clients who are women with chronic health conditions, where I see them on a one-on-one basis, and we work on lifestyle changes, dietary changes, etc., and get into the depth of what is why they have these health issues. And the other one is a group coaching program for women, and I'll be sharing more of that later on in other sessions. But just for you to know, that the point I was making is that I always start with focusing on what is going right. So the first question I always ask my clients is, what is going right with you, or what has gone well, or what are you celebrating this week, right? So that's extremely important. And because at the end, the objective of setting goals is not merely to fix yourself or to fix what is broken or to change for the sake of changing, right? It's to remove all the obstacles that you yourself might be putting in your way, and reach and fulfill your dreams and reach your goals, right? That's the life that you want to live by design rather than default, so that you don't end up having any regrets. You create healthy habits which support your goals and help you to transform your life, right? So the first thing that I shared with you, the first step was to take an inventory of your habits. The second was to start small. The third is habit stacking on a habit that you already have. The fourth is designing your habits for success. And the fifth one is celebrating the small wins. So what I have done for you is to summarize some of the key aspects of creating and designing new habits that I have found to be successful in my own life and in my coaching practice. And this is based on many articles and resources and books that I have read over the years. And I want to share two of these with you. One is called Atomic Habits, and the other is called Tiny Habits. So check them out. I don't remember the author's name right now. Most importantly, if you liked what I had to say, make sure that you sign up for the free 7-day Positive Changes Challenge, which is starting soon, next week, and where I will be sharing with you via email one actionable step that you can take to seeing positive changes in your life, right? It's a simple thing that you can do every morning or during the day and start seeing some results, right? Making changes. To give you a hint of what is possible for you, make sure that you click on the link to learn more and to sign up.